When you first come to a Women's Connection, maybe you don't know as many people, you don't quite know what table to sit at. I tell women who are attending, by the end of this weekend, you will be hugging people. You might even be crying that you have to go home. The way that this group brings you in and embraces you is just unlike anything I've ever experienced.
When I go back to my office, on Monday, I feel like my cup is running over. I feel so full. I'm energetic. I feel empowered.
It is just my absolute favorite event to attend every single year, and I would never miss it.
My recollection about the beginning of this event was that the organization at the beginning was very male-dominated. There were a lot of guys who had great brains putting things together, but there was a paucity of women involved in the organization, and as a result of that, people started talking about the need to increase the number of women involved in the organization.
More and more women were becoming involved as general counsel. The men were working with more women. They had more women starting in their law firms, and they're going, wait a minute, we have an untapped resource here.
I felt like we were kind of on the cusp of major changes, and those opportunities were out there if we saw them, or if we created them for ourselves, or if we were lucky enough to have people around us who created those opportunities for us. There was still a lot of work to be done. Frankly, there's still a lot of work to be done, but you could just tell that we were at the beginning of great opportunity.
I remember distinctly the year before we started Women's Connection. It wasn't called Women's Connection when we started in 2006, but in 2005, Renee McElhaney at that time, but we were standing in a group of the regular USLAW meeting, and we both had brought women clients and men clients, but particularly one of my women clients didn't know what to do. She didn't play golf, she didn't do some of the other events at the main USLAW event, and she just really wasn't sure what to do. So Renee and I started talking about how we could get women involved with women events. Women particularly like hanging out, doing stuff with women. So we started working on it, talking about it. We got approval from USLAW, and the first event started in 2006.
So that first meeting that ends up being kind of a planning meeting, I think that there were around 9 or 10, 11 of us there in Beverly Hills. And so I get there, I don't know anyone, and I arrive, get checked in, and we're going to start. I think that we started one evening, and the only instructions that we had from Renee was for each of us to bring a bottle of wine and some chocolates.
Renee and I did it totally ourselves. We found the hotel, we decided when to have it, we put the word out that we were going to have it, and we had USLAW women, no clients at all were at that event. And our events, we had a couple of little events, went to a spa, but the biggest thing I think of that event was the first night. We all met in Renee's room, we all sat in the floor, we all had our pajamas on, we drank wine, ate chocolate, and talked.
We had an icebreaker, which was such a silly icebreaker that I almost even hesitate to say, because it's amazing we all came back after that. But there was this icebreaker that somebody did. Cheryl Willard had bought a really cool pair of black shoes. And the icebreaker was we were passing this shoe around to talk about and everybody had to say something about what the shoe reminded them of, or I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was super goofy, but we were all laughing in our pajamas. We all had a glass of wine.
No more hose, no more high heels. I think most of us went back, and I think sometimes we even put our PJs on. And we all came into my room, and I don't even remember when it would end. We would start visiting with each other, getting to know each other, and that way those kinds of really strong relationships could build. We had massive amounts of fun. That was probably the best part.
I think the Women's Connection for USLAW is a really unique event because it brings women from all generations, from all walks of life, from law firms, from clients. It always comes together in this great event where we're able to share, we're able to communicate, we're able to connect with one another in a way that's different from a traditional event or even traditional other women's events. This one is special.
Women's Connection is a unique event because it's not just one industry that is brought together by U.S. Law. It's their clients and their attorneys from all various industries, and we get to collaborate and roundtable and share. And I find that to be the most unique aspect of the Women's Connection.
My first experience with the Women's Connection got off to a little bit of a rocky start. I was asked by my firm to attend the first Women's Connection in Beverly Hills. And, you know, for anyone who knows me, they will appreciate this, that I was perhaps less than enthusiastic about being asked to go to the women's event. And I said, how about I go to the product liability event? How about I go to the employment law event? I finally did go to the Women's Connection the second year, and we were in Chicago. And, you know, within the first hour, I thought, boy, did I mess up by not going last year.
It is a group of women that are able to come together and discuss issues that are unique to us as women, whether it be advancing in business, dealing with cases, clients, being a litigator, being a mom, things like that are just more unique to women, and that we can discuss it in an environment that feels very safe and supportive.
There's no competition vibe, so you're there able to really help each other and support each other, and it breaks down the walls that you would normally maybe put up when you're at a business development type organization, and the relationships are real, which has just been amazing.
For me, it doesn't matter where we are. It's such a high quality group, a class group of people that are there to help each other and help each other be successful.
I was fortunate enough to be able to participate in U.S. Law at my prior employer, and that was something that I really dove into, and I was really very actively involved. I was the chair of the Women's Connection for a bit of time back then, and then really the business development that I was able to do successfully as a result of my connections, that really enabled me to start my own law firm with my other partners. And once we really kind of got off the ground, I knew that I definitely wanted to be back involved with U.S. Law again. So the timing just was perfect, and we were able to get back into the network and be a part of this amazing organization.
People are able to really be themselves and share openly at this event in a way that doesn't happen at other events.
The very first one I went to, which would have been the second, I was still a young partner, and I had a lot of, there was a lot of stuff going on. I had young children at home. I had a lot going on in the partnership, and I was still finding my way professionally. And we were walking from one event to the other, and Cheryl Willard, who everyone in the room will know, and I were walking together, and somehow she cajoled me into talking about what was going on at work and what have you. And she basically, before the end of that conversation, she said, "We're going to figure out a solution to that before we leave here." And I didn't have any allies like that at my firm. I didn't have any friends professionally who could give me advice on the things that were going on. And this woman who didn't even know me, who's a powerhouse in the legal industry, basically just took me under her wing, just like that. And I was sold after that.
A couple of weeks ago, I was at another U.S. Law meeting, and as I was approaching someone, the thing that passed through my mind is that that's one of my children. It makes me feel great to be in a position where I've been able to watch them mature into their own, watch them become successful, and watch them become leaders in the organization.
We all know what we face every day. We all know what our jobs are like. We all know what is causing us pressure or stress or anxiety. And some of the best advice I ever got in navigating my own career or navigating some of my professional relationships came from women in the Women's Connection. And I guess I will shout out, I think the number one champion, I think, of being a mentor-mentee is Kathy Davis. And I hope everybody gets a chance to see Kathy.
What we wanted to do was give a helping hand out to young incoming female lawyers and our contemporaries that may need some additional business or just have business in my state. And they can call me and say, I've got a client in your state, can you help them out? But it was to try to encourage the women to reach out to the women, not just to the law firm, but to reach out to women to help build up businesses. And that's really the whole point of what we were doing, was trying to make some professional and personal relationship, but to build business for each of the women lawyers.
The Women's Connection is a catalyst for leadership, I think, for future women leaders. You know, we have a member meeting where we will discuss, if you're interested in leadership, come talk to us and kind of explain how the process works. How can you lead a practice group? What does that mean? How do you get there? And then if we have women express an interest in that, we absolutely walk them or walk along with them through that path and make sure that they get there.
Women's Connection has been such an integral part of my own leadership journey because I was able to meet women mentors and leaders, get to know them, and because of that, I was eventually nominated to be on the board and nominated to be on the executive committee. I would not have been nominated in those positions, I believe, without the support of those I met through the Women's Connection and those I got to know.
It's really an opportunity where it doesn't matter if it's been 2 years since you've been, it doesn't matter if you only go the once a year, it doesn't matter if you go to all the conferences. If you're in the Women's Connection, you automatically have a team behind you. You've got your tribe, you've got your people, and you could call anyone who's been at that conference and ask for help, ask them to make an introduction, ask them for professional advice, any of those things. You could do that with anybody who's been to one of the conferences.
There are group chats. We are constantly kicking things around. We are constantly sharing pictures of our family, stories about our vacations. So it is something that endures long after the weekend that we spend together.
It's really evolved into, and I'm not embarrassed to say that these are my colleagues, but these are my friends.
My favorite story about Women's Connection was in Park City in 2021. It was the COVID conference, as I like to call it. We were coming out of COVID, and who better than a group of women to take on all the new challenges, all the responsibilities, all the rules that we needed to follow in order to put on a great conference. And at that conference, truly one of my absolute favorite memories was line dancing under the Rocky Mountains as the sun set, and all of these women having a great time coming out of that pandemic and being able to actually enjoy one another, the outdoors, and all get to see what amazing line dancers we are.
In Nashville, I actually had just broken my foot probably 3 days before, and I was really worried I wasn't able to go. This is not an event anyone wants to miss. And so I got there and I had a huge boot on my foot and was determined to just make it. Without even thinking about it, quickly someone, pulled up a wheelchair, and people would just literally push me all around Nashville. It's just times like that. It's just memories like that women step up, friends step up, and I don't think they thought twice about it, and it was lovely.
I can't reveal all the secrets because people who are not in the Women's Connection may be viewing the video. However, I will say that at some of the late night events, there has been karaoke and there's been a lot of dancing. And there are some people in this organization, I'm here to tell you, who are really good at karaoke and they're really good at dancing. And that's all I'm going to say. But there are a lot of things that are just for the Women's Connection. But I'm just saying, if you haven't had a chance to see Deborah Sperati do her rap, you should check into that.
One of our Women's Connection events was in Charleston, South Carolina, and we had a Bohemian night, which was great for me. I love music festivals, I love music, I love tie-dye, I have a lot of it. I could have brought enough to supply the entire network with outfits, and we had karaoke on stage, and this is a perfect example of how much we trust each other. I feel like we can all just kind of push our boundaries and relax, and if you don't You don't want to get on stage and sing karaoke, no judgment there. And if you do, hopefully no judgment there, because I sure did do it. And I think trusting each other to do things like that. And I like to rap. I don't think I'm good at it, but I do enjoy it, and I love hip hop. So, we're standing around and we're talking about what we can do. And I had some friends that say, okay, well, I'll be your backup dancers if you'll get up there and rap. So I can't actually remember if it was Eminem or Ludacris, but I gave it all I had. That's one of the things that makes the network so fun. No sense of pretense, just put it out there and enjoy yourself.
One of my favorite Women's Connection memories is when we were in Napa, and we were at the late night hospitality room when I turned around and there were about half dozen women smoking cigars. There had been a lot of wine, but then there were a lot of cigars.
With Women's Connection, I've had the opportunity to travel to amazing, beautiful locations, and likely locations I don't know if I ever would have, one, thought of going to, or two, would have gone to.
I'd have to go back to my first experience at USLAW, which was hosted at the Cliff House in Maine. So not knowing what to expect, I was mentored by Robin McGrath, and one of the first things she told me as my mentor was, you need to arrive the afternoon before the conference, and just to get settled in, because once the conference starts, it's like hold on to your hat. So we arrived in a small town in Maine, and we decided to venture outside of the hotel complex to a restaurant. And so we eat dinner and we wander out to this fire pit. And I think about sometime around 2 a.m. we tried to get an Uber back. My bottom of my flip-flops are burned from the fire pit. And it was just unbelievable conversation with people from Maine, and just and that was my first experience. But I think in a cautionary note to that whole thing was, if you come in the day before, it could be the most difficult morning of the trip the next morning. So it always is a fun night, that first night.
We've had some of the male members joke about wanting to crash the party, and we not so jokingly tell them that they are not invited.
Some of the fun things that I remember and stand out from USLAW to me are spa days.
Lots of shopping.
Lots of pool parties.
Chocolate. Horseback riding.
Whitewater rafting.
Fire pits.
Wine tours.
Ziplining.
Bourbon tasting around a fire pit.
Mahjong.
S'mores.
Mountain biking.
Eating. The food is always delicious.
Lobster boil.
Museums.
Girl talk.
A long tequila tasting party.
Pink Jeeps.
Mopeds.
Shoe shopping.
Rafting.
Dancing.
Golf, or attempts at golf.
Line dancing.
Cocktails.
More cocktails.
Pajama party.
Sailboat ride.
Scavenger hunt.
Chakra cleansing.
Wandering.
Fight night.
Lifelong friendships.
Hot tub.
Karaoke.
Champagne.
Big hugs. USLAW is the huggiest group I have ever been in my life.
My hope for the future of the Women's Connection is that the relationships that have developed over many, many years continue to flourish, and that new faces be able to come into the network and are able to feel that same bond and that same support that I was able to feel when I first came into the Women's Connection.
The advice I'd give to women that are attending it for the first time is truly let down your guard. This is a safe, happy, fun place, and we all have a great time. We all want to learn to one another, and don't be shy to make new friends, because those are friends that are going to last a lifetime.
This has been an opportunity for women to grow, to get involved in USLAW, to develop their practice, to develop friendships. And I hope that we continue to move down this path, and that this group stays as strong as it is, that everyone continues to support it in the tremendous way that they have, and that in 20 years from now, there'll be a group celebrating this once again.
as we commemorate all this time that we've spent and all the leadership, thank goodness for the women who got this going and kept it going, because it has been had made a tremendous impact on my life personally.
Hearing about and keeping in touch with those who are still in Women's Connection and hearing that it's still going strong, that makes me feel good. It makes me feel so proud still to have been around in those early years. Not all conferences charge your batteries, but Women's Connection always does, and I hope it always will.
That we're not just celebrating one another, we're not just learning about the law, but one of the things that has become very important is the focus on women's health and sanity and their well-being with respect to the organization. And I really like that aspect, where there is a focus on talking about your mental health, your emotional health, your thought process about continuing to like or love the law, why you do it and why you want to stay in it.
I hope that the Women's Connection will continue for many, many years. It has become a stepping stone for so many young people to get involved, to become leaders in their firm, to get to know clients across the country, and to be able to show their clients that they have a network across the country.
You know, what I would say to the founding women that started this initiative and the USLAW board that supported it is thank you so much.
To the founders of the Women's Connection, I would say that your idea has become the most successful program in US law. And I don't think that people thought that it would do that at the beginning. So congratulations on establishing what is one of the most meaningful experiences in US law.
This has been such a special event for me, and I'm hopeful that other women will continue to come, continue to support other women, to empower other women, to be mentors, to advance leadership, to consider being leaders within this group, and to just continue to have so much fun.
To all the women in Women's Connection and all the women watching this, never stop dreaming.
The Women's Connection is a sisterhood.
Women's Connection is a group of badass women.
Women's Connection is supportive.
Women's Connection is friendship.
I think Women's Connection is one of the most fabulous things there is.
Women's Connection is building both professional and personal relationships.
Women's Connection is a great time with great friends.
Women's Connection is just so special.
Women's Connection is my favorite weekend of the year.
Women's Connection is the opportunity to learn something different every day.
The Women's Connection is women winning.